I got this gaming computer off eBay for $200.
First, I'd like to talk about some of the advantages that this computer holds. Starting off with how it has a triple fan graphics card. Because of this massive heatsink, half the time the fans aren't even spinning, providing for a quieter and, in general, faster experience while gaming. This computer also has a water-cooled CPU. Somehow, I don't know how, but it's awesome. It is only a single fan cooler, but that doesn't really matter because the CPU doesn't get that hot. It also comes with a full-sized ATX motherboard. Now, if you want to start getting into the, nitty-gritty bad stuff about this computer, I would definitely start with the Wi-Fi. I don't know if it was iBuyPower or the original owner of this computer that did this, but for some reason, they're using a Wi-Fi USB adapter, a cheap one for that matter, and they used like a USB extender type thing inside the case. Like, no, why would you do this? It's really slow. I mean, if you're using Ethernet, it's completely fine, but for most users, this isn't gonna be ideal. Another big complaint I have for this computer is that it actually only has a 250 gig SSD, and then it has a 1 terabyte hard drive. Now, there's nothing wrong with this setup, but for most people, they're gonna want like a 1 terabyte SSD over a 1 terabyte hard drive. I personally have run on a 250 gig SSD for a few years. I mean, of course, I'm not using one now, but I have for a long time. It did work, just not if you want to have a bunch of games. Another complaint I might have for this computer is that generally the aesthetics are not perfect. I mean, for some reason there's glass on the opposite side of the computer and not like metal. I mean, you can't control the ARGB. It's stuck on red most of the time, but it doesn't look terrible. For $200, this is definitely a steal of a deal. And if you really want those better aesthetics, just buy a new case. It's worth it. So yeah, I guess I haven't really talked about specs yet. This computer has an i7 8700K with a GTX 1070 with 16 gigs of RAM, clocked at 2666 megahertz. But for $200, this computer can game. Let's go ahead and jump over to the benchmarks.
Today I decided to test Marvel Rivals, just because I think it does a really good job on showing the capabilities of a computer. I benchmarked this game in 1080p and using AMD FSR unless I specified otherwise. I started in absolute minimum settings and I got an average of like 120 to 150 FPS. It's really playable and it still looks really good. Then I tested medium settings, which I still got a pretty good average of around 90 FPS, which is totally still a playable frame rate considering I have only used 60Hz monitors in my entire life. Then I decided to go ahead and swap it to high settings, and I still got a really respectable 70 to 80 FPS. And then I swapped it to native max settings, which I got anywhere from 20 to 50 FPS on. It's not perfect there. Let me know in the comments if you would have bought this computer for $200. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.